Hello everyone, I am Priya and welcome back to my channel Learn with Priya. So today we are going to learn class 9 max chapter number 8, that is quadrilaterals. This is going to be a very easy chapter and you're going to love this chapter because this chapter is full of shapes and not so many theorems but very interesting theorems. Okay, so we've been learning about quadrilaterals since 2 years, right? So this is a very fun chapter filled with so much fun, and you're going to love this chapter. So let's get started. Introduction. In our daily lives, we see books, notebooks, blackboards, walls of the classroom, table, duster, etc. They are all quadrilaterals. What are they? Quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are four-sided polygons. Four-sided, how many sided? Four-sided polygons. We will see more about quadrilaterals and special quadrilaterals, that is parallelograms, rectangles, squares, etc. in this presentation. So what are quadrilaterals? Any shape with four sides is called a quadrilateral. Okay, four-sided polygon. So for example, let's take square. Square is a quadrilateral, rectangle is a quadrilateral, parallelogram. There are many kinds of quadrilaterals. Okay, sorry. What is a quadrilateral? A plane figure formed by joining four non-collinear points. Four non-collinear points in an order is called a quadrilateral. Now let's learn some more about quadrilaterals. Vertices. So in this figure you can find vertices. What are vertices? These edges. These edges are called vertices. So the vertices are A, B, C and D. Diagonals. What are diagonals? Diagonals are these lines, that is AC and BD are diagonals. They divide a quadrilateral into two different halves. So they are called diagonals. These both are called diagonals. That is AC and BD are diagonals. Opposite sides. What are opposite side? The side which is opposite to one another are called opposite sides. So AB is opposite to CD and DA is opposite to CB. So in this way, we can find opposite sides in a quadrilateral. What are adjacent angles? Nearby angles. Nearby angles are called adjacent angles. For example, AB and BC, BC and CD, CD and DA, and AB are adjacent angles. Adjacent sides. That is side by side sides. Opposite angles. Opposite angles are angles which are opposite to each other. For example, angle is opposite to angle C. In the same way, angle B is opposite to angle D. And consecutive angles, that is A and B, B and C, C and D, and D and A. They are called consecutive angles. Angles and property of a quadrilateral. We have already learned about the angles and property of a triangle. The sum of all sides is 180 degrees in a angles and property of triangle. So in angles and property of quadrilateral, the sum of all the angles will be 360 degrees. That is angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D will be equal to 360 degrees. So this is called angles and property of a quadrilateral. Types of quadrilaterals. Parallelogram. Parallelogram is a kind of quadrilateral whose opposite sides are equal. What are opposite sides? DC, AB are its opposite sides and they are equal to each other in a parallelogram. And DA is opposite to CB. So they are also equal to each other. Opposite angles are equal. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are also equal. That is, angle D is equal to angle B, angle A is equal to angle C. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other means these are diagonals. As we have learned already, diagonals are AC and DB. And how do they bisect? Bisect in the sense they meet here. They meet at this point. You can name it whatever it is, like O. Properties of rectangle. We've been learning this since like fifth standard, right? Rectangle, square, triangle, and all. So now let's study about properties of rectangle. First property is the diagonals of a triangle are of equal length. So this means that the length of PR will be equal to length of SQ. Okay, the length of PR will be equal to length of SQ. Property 2 is a rectangle is parallelogram with one of its angles as right angle. So one of its in a triangle, one of its angle is 90 degrees. So let's say S is 90 degrees. So then this will be a rectangle. Property 3 is the angle bisectors of a parallelogram forms a rectangle. Square. Now let's study about the properties of square. Opposite sides are equal. In the same way, opposite sides, that is AB is equal to DC, AD is equal to BC, and each angle is of 90 degrees. Each angle in the sense angle D, angle C, angle B, and angle A. So all four of these angles are equal to 90 degrees and sum of them is 360 degrees. Diagonals are equal and perpendicular bisector of each other. Perpendicular bisector means 90 degrees. Properties of rhombus. Most of the students get confused between rhombus and square. So now let's clarify our doubts. A rhombus is a parallelogram with pair of its consecutive angles equal. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. All four sides of a rhombus are equal. So these two properties of rhombus and square are equal. But this is not. So keep this in mind that property 1 is very important of a rhombus. That what is the first property of rhombus? It is a parallelogram with a pair of its consecutive sides equal. Trapezium. A quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite side is parallel, it is called trapezium. In a trapezium, either this side is parallel or this side. Kite. A quadrilateral in which both pairs of consecutive sides are equal. Consecutive side means side by side. Okay. So when these are equal, it is called a kite. Okay. Note. A square, a rectangle, and rhombus are all parallelograms. This is very important to remember. A square is a rectangle and also a rhombus. So, square and rhombus come under a category called rectangle. They both are similar to rectangle and also rectangle. A parallelogram is a trapezium. A parallelogram is a trapezium. What is trapezium? We have just learned it, right? Trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite side is equal. A kite is not a parallelogram. A kite is not a parallelogram because its opposite sides are not equal. Its consecutive sides are equal. A trapezium is not a parallelogram, but a parallelogram is a trapezium. A rectangle or a rhombus is not a square. A rectangle or a rhombus is not a square, but square and rhombus are rectangles. This is very important to remember. Please take a screenshot of it and just remember everything. And now, at last, we have come to the point summary. A quadrilateral is a four sided polygon. The sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. And there are mainly three types of quadrilateral: trapezium, parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, kite. So, this is an extra information for you all. Parallelogram is written like this in short form. This is just to help you not to write a full name of parallelogram. Instead, you can use this shortcut. Okay, and end of the presentation. So, so thank you so much for watching till the end. So that's all for today's video. In next video, I'll be coming with an interesting topic with an interesting subject. So until that, bye bye.